Alright guys, tonight I want to show you some stuff that's in my collection. It's the Wizard half-issue special comics that came out. These were comics that they would run an ad in Wizard magazine in the 90s and the 2000s, and you would or special order them. So say you went to the store and you bought your issue of Wizard, and as you're flipping through it, you'll run across a 2-page ad with an envelope in the middle of it. Okay? That's the envelope. So you would pretty much usually get the cover or what character that they were presenting this month for you to special order, and this was the only way to get the comics at the time. Okay, and it says, and then what they would also do is they would offer you a special embossed foil cover or something if you got a year or 2-year subscription to Wizard. So basically what they would do is they would just take the logo and make it shiny, is what they were saying. So here's the envelope for the Boba Fett one. You can see the ordering that you would do, check off how many you can get. Sometimes they would limit these 3 to 5 and they would give you a deadline. This one, the deadline was March 30th, 1998. Okay, so you would fill out that form and check off how many you wanted. And you get a certificate. You know, this one you could get 2. So, and usually they were $3 a piece. You would pay $3 per book, and you would also send $3 shipping and handling. Or if you wanted 2 copies, it was $6 and $3 shipping and handling. So you send them that. And this is so far back in '98, it cracks me up because it asks for your email address if you have one. Yeah, email address if you got one. That just cracked me up. So you would, you know, pull this out of the book, put all that in there with your money order, check, whatever, and then you would mail it off and you would wait. And usually the second page will sit there and tell you everything great about the book that you have to have. You know, this would really sell the book. Like, this is an exclusive George Lucas approved special, you know, Lucasfilm special comic book of Boba Fett, and this is the only place you'll ever be able to get it. So, you know, that was pretty good. And they take a little bit of sketchbooks and stuff are in them. So I got this one at a flea market after all those years, and somebody apparently got the special embossed one. Okay, you see the shiny logo there. You see the big stamp of approval there where that says Special Wizard Edition. And all of them came with a certificate of authenticity. And it would tell you what Wizard magazine, what issue of the Wizard magazine this was ordered out of. And the bags that came in, they used to come in with a board made into them, but apparently as the program went on, at least by 1998, they took the board out. You would just get it mailed like this in a very sturdy manila envelope. You know, had like almost a real thick cardboard feel to it. And but the bags had special edges, so if you dropped it, it would protect the book. You know, they still went a little bit extra there. So anyway, there's the Boba Fett one. And Dark Horse did this, Marvel did this, DC did this. When Wizard magazine started out, they really supported the Valiant comics and Image comics, and I think they moved their way up to Dark Horse comics with the Legends imprint. That back in the 90s, the Legends imprint had Hellboy, Madman, Next Men, anything John Byrne put out. I think Concrete was under there. So Marvel and DC didn't really, in my opinion, take these half-issue specials at first. Okay, now this is the Wizard half-issue special of Battle of the Planets. This came out before the series in 2002, and Alex Ross actually has a sketchbook in this, some sketches of the Battle of the Planets. This was a way to introduce people to Battle of the Planets and get attention to it as a Wizard exclusive special because the series was coming out. Alex Ross is a big Gatchaman nut. Battle of the Planets. They came on. Then there was 2 of these, and of course they had, you know, the certificates. And every now and then, after the Wizard special was over, sometimes they put out a second printing. This was by Top Cow, not by Wizard. So basically, they put the book out for maybe the people who did not get it from Wizard. I don't know how later they did, but anyway, back to what I was saying. DC and Marvel, you know, they threw a few books out there, and what I remember, they didn't really put an A team on. You know, it was kind of like, this is like a gimmick, and they didn't put their top-notch people on there. But I think the Wizard issue, the half issues, it was a gimmick, but it was the smart people, the indies, the people doing the indie books and the smaller printing presses back then, like the Dark Horse and the Image and stuff. I think they put a lot more into it, and eventually DC jumped on board there, because by the time they what is this? This is from issue 149, 2004. By 2004, they put out this Teen Titans half issue with the Teen Titans series that was going on, and it's a straight up Jeff Johns, Ivan Rice book. So they finally jumped on board and got with it. Beautiful. This is a beautiful book, and like this is going into the 2000s now. I don't have these in order. Okay, the one that I've specifically ordered this was Astro City, the half issue. There's the certificate, and on the back of it, Strangers in Paradise. But the indie guys, man, they took advantage of this. They really, packed their books pretty good. This half issue has been reprinted in the trades, and I think maybe about a year later, don't take a grain of salt there, good old Kurt Busiek put it back out with an Alex Ross cover. This one is a Brent Anderson cover, so that's the first print, and that would be the second print. But the indie guys really took advantage of it. This was like free advertisement. It was a half issue. What had happened was, thanks to Valiant Comics, I'm not saying they were the first one to do it. Actually, I think the first Zero issues, where I'm going with this. Zero issues had become a gimmick. Zero Hour, they put out Zero issues. Image has some Zero issues. Valiant really took advantage of the Zero issues. You had to get coupons out of several of their books, and then send those coupons in to get a Zero issue. But actually, I think Robert Crumb had the first Zero issue. I don't know if it was Zap Comics number 0, but basically what had happened was that he had done a whole comic that he was going to put out on the underground scene, and it was stolen. So that was considered number 1, and he had to redo the whole book, and he just went ahead and said that was 0 in case those pages popped back up so he could do a proper number 1. That goes all the way back to the 60s. But anyway, so their gimmick was they got into the numbering, and I was one of the first people that thought this was stupid to, label it a half issue. I actually had to explain people, fractions and where this would fit in their collection back in the day. I'm not judging. But it would be 0, half, number 1, and on up. And then Marvel came up with this big idea to do -1 issues, -1 issues that were like before the origin stories, with a lot of their books, hit or miss or whatever. But the Image books came out. People were dying for these, eating them up. Mike Turner would put a few up. This one got hot for a while. A Frank Miller Sin City story, through Dark Horse. This story was actually in just another Saturday night. This story was actually used in the second Sin City movie. Okay, there's a big certificate, and it's ironic that Frank Miller even allowed this to happen, because in the early 2000s, he pretty much ripped it. He'd made a big speech at some convention or press conference or something, and I remember he said something like, "We need to get the parasites off of comics," and he held up a issue of Wizard magazine and ripped it up and said this was like, written by Satan or something like that. He actually put the whole speech in the back of one of his Sin City books and stuff. And then I ordered this one also. Powers was getting hot. I loved Powers when it came out. So I ended up ordering 3. I think they had a limit of 3. So yeah, the Powers half issue. It was actually really good stuff. Here's I've been told this is very rare, so they probably had to get a subscription to get this. Sometimes I think you could order these from Dynamic Forces, but this is Wolverine half issue with the, all the blue on it is all shiny and embossed. And I don't think that one has a certificate in it. I ordered this one myself, X-Files half issue, and I'm lucked up because I've kept the TV guides of X-Files. I've kept the Rolling Stone issues of X-Files where they were on the cover. And now they just announced 6 episodes of X-Files will be coming back to Fox TV. I loved X-Files when it came out. I can't go back and watch them now because I don't know how it happened. But what would happen was I would work. It used to be on Friday nights, and then it got moved to Sunday nights, I think. And I would always be working a job where I worked in the evenings, 3 o'clock till 11. But where I worked in a group home, they had a VCR, so I would record my X-Files and then watch them, but I would end up watching them 2-3 times a week. Well, apparently after doing that for years and years, when I try to watch a rerun of X-Files, I remember it. I mean, it comes back to me and I know the lines they're going to say. I'm not saying I have it 100% memorized, but it's enough to where I'm like, oh man, you know. Okay, she, okay. And this is a limited edition. This is also all nice and shiny. So this was from Wizard number 63. You know, so Bill Tucci really took advantage of it. And then, like I said, I was talking about Marvel. Like I said, that Wizard mag, that Wolverine I just showed you, I thought that was kind of cartoony art. They had better people and stuff. But then again, Alex Ross stepped up with Jim Krueger, his buddy, and they put out this Earth X half issue for the event that was going on with them. And this is fantastic. I mean, this fits right into the Earth X miniseries if you had read that. I mean, this was just really, really good to where I was like, that was worth the $6 to get it. You know, it seems like I had 2 or 3 of these, and it actually got so popular with people who actually enjoyed comics. I ended up selling one. You know, went really well. So there we go. That is from Wizard Comics number 105. Okay, then I got these. Apparently, here's the regular edition of the 10th, a Wizard half issue. I don't know anything about it. But on the back of it, I have another half issue, and this one has a highly embossed disco ball effect, you know, cover. So, you know, Image jumped on there, free advertising. And like I said, finally, you know, Marvel got on board. I think this was the first one I think they had a real good team on. But this is issue half, and I'm pretty sure this is Joe Quesada and Kevin Smith doing a half issue for their Marvel Knights run back in '98. And this was available through Wizard number 96. So that was really good. And then Kabuki. Now Kabuki, like I said, the indie guys really jumped on this, and I think they put out some really great work on these Wizard issues. But I mean, look at this. This is David Mack doing let me make sure. Yeah, David Mack doing Kabuki, all watercolors. You see that first page there. When I got this one, you know, I'll just sit there and just looked and looked and looked. Of course, there's their certificate. Set that down. This one was beautiful. Okay, and I think I saw David Mack at Heroes Con around 2002, and he had a lady with him. I didn't go up there, man. He had quite a line, but I'm pretty sure that Kabuki was based on his ex-wife or wife, and she would model for him. So I heard that he got divorced. I don't know. I don't really keep up with that part of it. But we also get the sketchbooks, and we see what he starts out with before he applies the watercolors. So yeah, that's what I mean. Some of these were really nice. They're really hit and miss. Okay. And then here's some more. No idea. And then I have a few that are signed, and I have no idea. This was with Wizard 101. I have no idea. I need to go back and look, but maybe, you know, this was a special set where Joseph Linsner probably sit down and this was either at a comic book convention or he did it for Wizard with the signatures and stuff. There was quite a few Dons. Here's a special edition one. Okay. More some indie guys trying to get their books off the ground. And then J. Michael Straczynski came up there with his Joe's Comics through Top Cow. I think that's what it was called back then. Yeah, Joe's Comics. And he had a 12-issue miniseries called Midnight Nation. And if you guys remember when, you know, Straczynski came on Superman, and he did this thing where Superman was going to walk across America, it came from this creepy story from Midnight Nation, number half. Mike Zulli did the artwork for this, and he was hot there for half a minute because he did this fantastic couple issues of, I think, The Wake for Neil Gaiman's Sandman after Morpheus had died. And his pencils are so beautiful they don't ink over them. You know, really great work. And then Jeff Johns jumped up there again and gave us a Flash half issue. And like I said, these aren't all of the Wizard half issues, but that just kind of gives you a taste, a little corner there. And what really surprised me is I actually went to the internet to try to get a little bit of information on these to you know, see if there was anything special or some stories behind there. And there's not really a lot out there, but what I found is there's a lot of people who are trying to track down all the Wizard issues to collect them. So there is a market for this right now, trying to collect all the back issues of the half issues, if you follow that. Alright guys, thanks a lot. Catch you later.